The adultery brewing. I am separated but still living with my husband. My husband knows I am seeing someone else and is okay with it. The guy I'm seeing has not told his wife. I made it clear to him I do not want to be that person to destroy his marriage or hurt her, his family, and that we need to end this. We met online a month ago on a dating site. He was looking for an escape from his troubled marriage, hoping to just find hookups, and didn't care, which he admits he was wrong for, and I of course was looking to date, not hook up, since I'm allowed to in my marriage. That did not happen. We fell in love fast with each other. Felt like we knew each other our whole lives the second we met. Instant, unexplainable, strong chemistry, connection that we have never felt before. We both had an instant deep connection, and no, not just physical. This is way deeper. We are inseparable. He has already told me he loves me, talks to me every hour, every day, makes time to see me daily, etc. Here is the dilemma. I told him he needs to end things with me and make it work with his wife, since it is not fair to her and wrong. I told him his wife and kids come first. He feels a part of him would die if we stopped talking, and he can't imagine a life without me. Mind you, it's been a month. I always thought people were crazy marrying someone after a week, but now I can see why. I told him then he needs to tell her the truth, but he said he's torn because he feels like if he divorces her, he will fail his kids by not having both parents under same roof. The whole reason he went on a dating site in the first place is because he says his wife is abusive, and he's starting to see it affecting the kids, hence why he's been contemplating divorce, even though that is last resort. When he told her he wants a divorce, she agreed to go to therapy to work on her abusive control issues, which is for 12 weeks, and then once she shows improvement on her behavior, they can attempt marriage counseling and try to connect again. I told him that won't happen if he keeps talking to me. Hence, he needs to end it with me. Here's my issue: how do I end it with him? We are deeply in love, and it's not something you can find around the corner. Do I end things with him ASAP, losing what we have, or continue and wait until the 12 weeks to see if he really divorces? He said he is terrified of losing me and at the same time failing his kids, and fears that if his wife improves her behavior, he can't take the next step, make things work with her, because he's too in love with me. What do I do in this situation? This is not lust, infatuation, or obsession. This is a deep love I can't explain. I do believe in monogamy. My husband and I are not together, hence the open marriage. We financially cannot divorce now, and agreed in several years when we are able to, we are divorcing. We are staying cordial for the kids' stability for now. As for the guy, he admitted he was wrong, since in the beginning he told me he was looking to divorce his wife, so I felt we were in the same situation and went for it. It's not about the bonding. I'm not sleeping with the guy I'm with or my husband. My husband and I are divorcing when we are able to financially. I want the guy to make things work with his wife and end things with me, but he is saying he can't. Do I end things with him, and if it's meant to be, he will contact me later down the road once he divorced and single? Or do I continue and wait the 12 weeks to see if his wife improves, or not determining if he's going to make things right with her or not? I am in the middle of medical school and cannot work. My husband is trying to establish his career. We cannot divorce now. The guy I'm with can divorce. He just is terrified of failing his kids, but understands he needs to make a decision fast because he can't live two separate lives. He understands where I stand. I made it very clear I am not getting into a serious relationship now until after med school, and once I'm living independently on my own. He knows if he divorces now, I won't jump into living with him. I'd still see him, of course. Kind of hard not to, but you won't move in with him since I want my independence first. Then we would date slowly and get more serious, live together, but that will be 3 to 5 years from now. We talked about our honeymoon phase fading as it does in all relationships, and that everyone has flaws. It's just a matter of do we have the same viewpoints, mindset, and similarities, which we do. Grass is never greener unless you water it, so it depends if he wants to work on our relationship issues. I'm sure we will have versus him staying married to his wife and working with hers. My marriage failed due to my husband's addiction that he is still getting treatment for. He acknowledges our marriage failing is his fault, and he knows he failed me. We fell out of love and want to move on, even though we will always be best friends. I have always been in self-therapy and enjoy counseling, as I'm always open to learning and making changes in myself to grow. What me and this guy have is something him and I did not plan. It just happened. I can't explain it. I was under the impression he was in the same boat as me. I was looking just to get to know someone slowly before dating, and then once I'm independent and on my own for a while, I'd start a relationship with the guy I was going to slowly start to get to know and be friend with. Clearly that did not happen. I guess when you love someone you just know. It's so hard to explain the feeling that we have for each other. It's very strong, and no, it's not physical. I want him to end things with me and make things right with his wife. I said if he does not, then I'm ending it, and was asking how and if when I should. After he told me he loves me, he went home to tell his wife he wants a divorce and even threw in the option of separating, open marriage. He said she didn't say not to any of them, she just wants to get help first and see if they can get their marriage back on track. That's when I said okay, see, we need to end things and give her a chance to make marriage work since she is getting help she needs and wanting to save the marriage. I graduate fall 2024, I'm 33 and he's 40. He contemplated ending things now and then in 12 weeks let me know if she's better because he doesn't want to hurt anyone or play anyone. We have talked about many options on what to do in a situation like this because we were not planning on this to happen. He was not looking for an emotional affair or connection. He was tired of being controlled by his wife and made stupid choice to look for an escape hookup. He regrets it but doesn't regret meeting me. He wants to give his wife chance to work on the marriage when her therapy is over but is terrified. He's too in love with me to end things and won't want to give his wife a chance when she's done. That's when I said, see, we need to end things now because that's not fair to her at all. We are not sleeping together. He talks highly of his wife and sees like a good person but says the only issue they ever had was her controlling him. He's not allowed to have friends yet she does. If he relaxes on his day off, she hands him a to-do list and fights with him if he won't follow it even though he has said he needs to relax since it's his only day off. She expects him to do way too much and he backs down to keep the peace but is tired of it. He's hoping she changes so he can make things right with her, which will be after her therapy since divorce was not something he wanted. But once seeing how her issues are affecting the kids, he's putting his foot down to not be miserable anymore and she either works on her control issues or he's divorcing, hence he doesn't want to let me go since he doesn't know the outcome after her 12-week therapy. I wasn't looking for serious relationship now since I want to first be independent and live on my own. I was looking to get to know one guy over the next 3 years and see if that turns into anything deeper. This situation was not expected. I can't explain the way we feel for each hire, but I guess when you know, you know. I don't have time for BS now. Med school time consuming and tough. My residency is here since we have to do it at the school clinic. I was asking advice on here and how to end it with him or wait the 12 weeks. But I'm leaning more towards ending it now because even if it's meant to be, I feel when those 12 weeks hit and he makes his decision, he knows where to find me, but I would need proof of divorce in process. Or proof he's separated and moving out. I told him I don't want to go behind his wife's back and he shouldn't either and needs to give her that chance. He's stuck in the fork in the road, not contemplating if he's going to proceed with her after her therapy or end things and be with me. I know 1 month is crazy. He even joked how he makes fun of love movies where the dude runs after the girl crying not wanting to lose her after knowing her a week. He now knows how that feels. Like all this is mind-blowing to us since we were not expecting this. I can't explain how deep connection our is. We just can't be apart. We are inseparable. Nothing is physical. We talk every hour of the day all day about everything like 2 peas in a pod. He closed down his office on my B-day just to spend time with me and sent his staff home, and no, it wasn't for bonding, since we agreed to not have sleep together until we know what to do. We laugh all the time, tell stories, and talk about every topic. We have kissed and did sleep together once in the very beginning, before we agreed not to. My husband's family is helping us until we get on our feet. I will financially support myself after graduation, so no, I won't live off this guy or any guy. I'm talking on here like how I text, but of course in school I wouldn't talk this way in a research paper. I talk to students in my cohort outside school and use more slang than me. Just because we are future doctors doesn't mean we can't be ourselves in our personal life. As for his wife, it's both. Overall, she's a good person, she just has controlling, emotional, verbal abusive behavior which he thinks is due to her insecurities from childhood needing to control. She admitted it and is getting help for it, hence I told him to give her a chance. I was asking how to end things with him, which I'm leaning more towards on ending it ASAP and not waiting 12 weeks because if it's meant to be, he knows where to find me, and if they don't work out in the end, I would just need proof he's single and get to know him the proper way since I'm not wanting a relationship until after I'm on my own and graduate med school anyway. He was a relationship site and I was looking to get to know a guy slowly over time, does not hook up. He is not using me for bonding since we don't sleep together. He can easily, I'm sure, go get it elsewhere, but he doesn't. We talk all day every day. We are inseparable. He closed his office down and sent staff home to spend time on my B-day, and no, not for bonding since we agreed we wouldn't sleep together until later on if he's divorced. I've been with my husband the same time he's been with his wife, 20 years. In my situation, my husband had struggled with addiction and we agreed to end things because he feels his addiction has pained me too much to make things work with me, which I agree with. So, we are living cordial with each other until I finish school and live on my own. It would not make any sense to move out right now when my husband and I don't have our career set, since that will be a heck of a financial struggle. We both want for ourselves or the kids, and yes, we have 3. I don't want him to leave me for her. In fact, I told him to end things with me to go make things right with her. He is refusing to, hence why I went on here to ask advice on what to do. This is not lust or infatuation, and no, it's not for physical stuff, like a typical cheater affair. I'm telling you, this is some deep stuff. I can't explain it. This is not a physical affair. I don't want to go behind his wife's back. Hence, I told him to go make things right with her. Being a doctor has nothing to do with my personal life. He's a dentist. Literally personal and work don't mix. I've worked for doctors who went to strip clubs behind their wives' back. Profession has nothing to do with personal. We are all human regardless of our career status. I understand how everyone thinks this is a typical physical affair, but it's not. This is something deeper that we both don't want to lose since we are inseparable. He admitted he was wrong and stupid and felt trapped, hence he went online looking for an outlet. He knows he was wrong. He has not told his wife about me. He only told her about divorce. After work, he goes home and is with his kids, and yes, he FaceTimes me, so I know he's not lying. He's with his kids all the time. He lost feeling with his wife over time of her controlling him. He knows he should give her a chance to rekindle their relationship, but he feels he's done and doesn't want to. We had slept together once in the beginning we both regret. Hence, we agreed we won't until he's single if that's the case. If not, he needs to give his wife a chance and stop talking with me. I'm sure his emotions have been destroyed from his wife, hence it's prob easier to open up with me. I finish med school in 2024 and do residency and clinic on campus after. Trust me, I'd leave right now if I wanted to put my emotions first. It's wise to wait until myself and my husband have careers set for sake of each other and kids. We don't fight, we really cordial and good friends, so the home has been peaceful since agreeing to live separated on the same home. I know cheaters and liars and lust and infatuation. I know all about that from friends and coworkers. This is not what's happening here. I can't explain the deep feeling we have, but it's an intense magnet, hence we are inseparable. He is doing something to protect his kids. He's considering taking his kids and leaving if she doesn't get help, hence she started the therapy. So far, he says is working. So, I said, see, she is improving, so you can give her a chance to rekindle your marriage, and he says he now feels he can't because he can't lose me, so it's leaning towards him leaving her for me, which I don't want. I told him we need to end things ASAP and give his wife a chance. He has family here willing to help him with his kids because they know his wife emotionally unstable. She's not physically abusive, she's irrational. For example, she wakes them all up at midnight to do scriptures if they had a busy day and forgot to. He has tried to be on kids' side with it but doesn't want to cause fights, so he obeys what she says, and it kills him because he knows his kids hate the irrational behavior control she does. The other wife, she's highly religious, like on the extreme unhealthy end. She makes them do scripture late at night, makes them redo chores if it's not done to her standard even though the house is spotless, can't walk or talk or sit on the couch a specific way. He has to follow the list she gives him on his only day off and makes it seem like he's the prob if he does not obey. When he goes on dental meeting trips once a year for a day or two, she complains how he has to catch up with chores and responsibilities he missed while gone as if he was on vacation. He is not allowed to have friends, and if he ever was to have a friend and go out, she acts mad the next day as if he was wrong for it. He texts me all day at work, on his way home, when he gets home, when he's doing her list, when he with the kids, before he goes to bed, on his way to work. He will run out to the store every night for an hour and we talk in the car or at the park. Also, we have talked in parking lots during his kids' practices. About every day for an hour at most. They all know our situation and beyond aware of his addiction and how it destroyed our marriage, to be honest. I think parents blame themselves for his addiction that he developed from childhood and used their money to help us out of guilt. My opinion, but it makes sense. They know we are going separate ways once done with school and agree that it's wise to hang out as long as possible for kids until we are financially good on our own. I am in med school as a result of my mom's passing of cancer. She inspired me to heal others and have a passion in doing so. Shame on you for judging me of being this horrible person because I accidentally fell for a married man. No, it is not something I would ever see myself doing nor want to. It just happened, and yes, I am ending it today with him because I agree it is all wrong. Have you even analyzed why I made this post? Because I know it's wrong and wanted advice on how to get out of this situation, since it's easier said than done. Now as for you blind people who think doctors have perfect grammar and personal life, you're clueless. I can't tell you how many dentists, doctors I've worked for that talk slang outside work or make poor choices in their personal life, but why would they show their patients their true self? You're telling me the amount of cursing you use with a night out with friends is how you are to your employees or customers at work? No, it's unprofessional, so of course doctors put on this perfect pleasant demeanor to keep their business. That goes for any career, to be honest. You guys are blind to think the way a doctor talks to their patients are the same way they talk to their friends and family. We are human. I'm sorry if I dug up some pain for those who have been cheated on. That was not my intent. I was honestly looking for an easy way to end this because it's not a situation I'm used to, nor would I ever thought I'd be in. So, no, I'm not a bad person. I just made a mistake, as we all do some point in our lives. To those fools out there, please be careful what you say to people because you don't know everyone's situation or what they go through, and it is not your place to judge. Like, comment, I think you should end it, and tell the wife. That is what this man deserves. Does his wife deserve to raise 6 children in a Christian home, which is important to her, while her husband is cheating on her in parking lots with another woman during their children's sports practices? Do you really think no one that they know has seen you two together in the car and rumors aren't flying behind this poor woman's back? When you have one half of the story between the two of them, you have just that. I can tell you she is nowhere near as bad as he describes and might be a very good person. She was good enough to have 6 children with him. He seems real put out that she has a list of chores for him on days off. Dude, maybe don't have 6 children then. That is a ton of work, and I imagine they have a large house for all those kids that needs a lot of upkeep. So, he should have the right to an affair because his wife dares to ask him to mow the lawn instead of laying on the couch. Please do the right thing. Since the damage has already been done, the only right thing to do is to tell the wife so that she can have all of the information and a chance at finding a true man with Christian values match hers. She can also have the chance to position herself to take him for everything he is worth. For a girl that says she doesn't want a relationship, you sure are trying hard to keep this unavailable man on the hook. Story 2. My husband stayed up late talking to a friend all night at our house. I woke up and heard him talking while I was in our room. The friend is a dirtbag in general. They were talking in the kitchen. He talked to the friend about wanting to leave me and strongly insinuating that he is cheating. He said to his friend, "There are things I've done that I'll take to the grave and I won't tell you because I might want to do them again." Then the friend said, "I don't care if you cheated or when that was." So he didn't go into specifics about the secrets, but my husband seemed to acknowledge the comment about cheating. He said he's talking to other women that have sent him nudes. He has told me about a couple of random people who have done that in the past, but said it's happening a lot and he feels he has better options out there. His main hang-up is that we have 2 kids and he doesn't want to mess them up by getting a divorce. He said to the friend that he started looking elsewhere because I said I was done having kids, so he felt that meant if he wants more kids, he has to go somewhere else. He said when we got married, the deal was that we'd have 4 kids and now I'm going back on my word. He also said I am the least hot girl he has been with. I'm not sure if this is just him joking with a friend and drinking bourbon or what. I stay at home with the kids, who are babies, so I don't have time for anything else really. I do work in the evenings, but my husband said to his friend that I treat him like an ATM because I'm not working. This is all really sudden to me. He has not talked about these things with me. I have said I felt done with having kids because I'm overwhelmed with babies, but I think our problems go further than having another baby. I'm not sure what to do, if I should say that I heard him last night or what. I'm planning a date to talk about things in general and ask specifically about these things. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing. This is the first I've heard of any of this stuff. I've been busy raising the kids. I thought I was doing a good job of meeting his needs whenever he expressed needing anything, but I guess not. I'm in a bad position because he has all the money and has a high-paying full-time job. I am an educator who would have 2 kids in daycare if we got a divorce. It's hard because I thought things were going okay. We've had a lot of transitions this year with the new baby and moving too, but I figured if any bumps were there, it was because of that. I'm really blindsided. My family lives over an hour away. I haven't told anyone about what's going on. My son is 10 months old and my daughter just turned 3. I'm trying to have a date with him today to talk, and I plan on generally asking how things are going, and I'll probably end up telling him I heard him. I don't know if he wanted me to hear him or if he really thought I couldn't hear anything in the next room. He has a couple of friends that he hangs out with and I try to accommodate if he says he wants to hang out with them. He probably hangs out with them once per week or more, honestly. I guess the joke's on me for trying to be a good wife. I talked to him, not mentioning what I heard, but I brought up the important issues. I felt if I came in swinging, he'd shut down. He said he was too drunk to be aware of what he was saying and he didn't remember. I told him I heard him talking all night, but I didn't mention what I heard. I said it was very loud and he said he must have been saying something dumb because he was drunk. He said he's not cheating. Some girls sent him nudes trying to get with him and he deleted them because he wants to be with me. He didn't feel comfortable telling me about it the more recent times it has happened because I got upset one time when I heard that something like that happened. He said other people want to be with him, but he doesn't want the attention and gets uncomfortable because he gets previous coworkers or college people trying to get with him, especially since they saw pictures of our new house on Facebook and they are gold diggers. He was mainly upset because he thought I said I didn't want any more kids and he evidently wants 3 now. I said I'd think about it and he seemed satisfied with that. He's very intense, so when he's mad about something, he's very mad and I think was venting. His friend is garbage, so he encouraged him to say negative things about me. It seems like he was really drunk and didn't mean what he said. I find it hard to believe that he is cheating and lying to me just to have another baby with me. I don't have proof that he is cheating, just that he's an asshole who says dumb stuff to his friend while he's drunk. I'm not sure if I want to break up my family over that. It's like, either he knew what he was saying and wanted me to hear his malicious plan about divorcing me, or he was just drunk and didn't realize he was talking at all. Basically, he was way hungover and slept all day yesterday until our date. We definitely have other things to work on here, but I have to decide if I can try to continue to talk to him or not. I know his personality. He has always been a hard-charging asshole who is blunt and says things without thinking. He's a soldier, so everything is very life or death all the time. He overanalyzes things, and I think here, he was describing that he thought about whether it was worth it to leave, and he told me about that during the date, but he said no, it was definitely not worth it. He said if he was going to cheat, he would just tell me and we'd break things off. I don't believe having a baby can fix a marriage. I am not having another baby to try and fix the marriage. I'm planning on talking to him tomorrow about the specific things he said. I have a friend who's going to watch the kids. I don't have a problem with leaving if I need to because I can get a job and support myself and the kids. I just feel like I need to hear from him about what he said, and I don't want to throw everything away when I don't have evidence that something happened. I just think if he didn't want me to know what he was thinking about me and was trying to cover it up, why would he talk to his friend right outside of the bedroom door? He told me he has been cheating because he feels I am not meeting his needs. Basically, it started when I was pregnant with the second baby and was busy with moving twice, a pandemic, and building a new house. But I evidently wasn't cleaning the house, sleeping together, and working out in the gym enough for him during that time. I recognize that I probably wasn't, but I was busy giving him children. He said he wants to work things out and stop cheating. I'm planning on leaving tomorrow. I don't deserve the abuse. I'm worried about my kids though, and how messed up they'll be having a dad like that for the rest of their lives. Update: I'm in a safe place now, getting an attorney. I realize I've been abused in many ways, but I felt like I deserved it. I'm trying to keep him away from the kids, but in my area, usually parenting is shared unless there's physical violence, documented by police. I took the kids and am staying at my sister's house. I got an attorney who said not to talk to my husband. He called the police over the weekend. He's starting to visit the kids somewhat, and we'll figure out how that'll look. Now that I'm out of the situation, I realize that there was extensive abuse and gaslighting from the beginning. I'm talking to the domestic violence shelters and have a counselor and support group. Where I am, parenting is always shared unless you can prove that one spouse is abusing the kids. Usually, the assets are equitably shared. We'll see how it turns out because he was not involved in raising the kids when we were together. He loved the idea of everyone thinking he was a great dad. It's hard grieving the loss of the idealized relationship I thought I had. I'm very emotionally vulnerable, and it's hard to keep from just going back to him because it'd be convenient. He controlled so much of my life that it's difficult to be on my own now, but my family is helping me. I feel really badly for the kids and hate the situation in general. I'm trying to stay positive and be happy that he's not abusing me anymore, but as far as the court goes, it doesn't seem to matter. Now I have talked to a lot of attorneys. I spent $3,000 trying for a dissolution that he continually argued over. I want to keep the kids with me in a county an hour away from our marital home. The attorneys say in the county where our marital home is, the court doesn't let one parent move the kids out of the county with the other parent unless there's a really good reason. Infidelity or psychological, emotional abuse is not a reason because you can't prove it, and I can't prove the kids are being abused. They're really little. The court also believes in shared parenting, so he'd get them a lot. Since he lives in that county, then they'd have to go to school there when they get in school, and he'd become the main custodial parent. All the assets are wrapped up in the marital home that we just built, so there's no splitting it. He can afford it on his own because of his high-paying job. I won't have enough money to try and fight the custody battle that I need to fight. I don't want to move to the same city as him to be nearer to the kids because my family is in the other city and it's expensive to live there. My earning potential is lower and I haven't had a job for 3 years. I'm legally stuck, and now he's so pissed off that he probably won't take me back anyway. I'd have to be groveling, but otherwise I won't see my kids growing up. I'll be the one who visits, and my visiting time will be when they are doing sports or school stuff on the weekend later on down the road. It seems weird to me as well, but that's how the court is in that county. I'd like to try and file where I am now, but I'd have to be here 90 days, and he can appeal it and move it back to where the marital home is. He said he can keep them Monday to Thursday and I can get them for the weekend. The court says they have to live in that county, so I guess it's about as fair as can be, especially since he's gone for army duty and things like that. I think I have a lawyer who'd be able to negotiate pretty well to help me, but he's really planned this, so I'll end up with very little when we split. He filed for 5 in early June and our first court date is Monday. My new attorney seems pretty optimistic about the situation. I got a great job in my chosen field, and my parents remodeled the house that I grew up in that they still own, and I'm moving in soon. The kids are involved in lots of play groups and classes. They love having friends and family around all the time. I am looking into daycares. Hopefully the court will let them stay here. My husband has only asked to see them 28 hours per week. Recently he decided to keep the kids without telling me, so we had to have a new arrangement. He paid for daycare in his city as well, so the kids are in 2 daycares. We petitioned the court for different custody orders. Hopefully they'll be decided soon because it's terrible for our kids to have such an unstable, unpredictable situation. I've been here a lot of anxiety in general. Now I'm running out of money in this high-conflict divorce and having a hard time coping with not having my kids for so much of the time. I think the kids are the ones suffering. I feel like I'm getting gaslighted by the court system because they seem to be doing what he wants to do. I talked to the AD who said overall he agrees with me, but they have to show why shared custody doesn't work. I'm using a court parenting app to talk to the soon-to-be ex, and he hasn't been harassing me as much, which is better for my mental health, but I feel like I'm missing out on some evidence that I could be collecting, so I'm not sure if I should get rid of the app or not. My comment: I hope since you'll have them most of the time, he will have to pay you a lot of child support. Also, see if he has to pay you half the value of the house if he keeps the house. Ask the court for him to cover the kids' health, dental insurance premiums, and ask if you can claim some of his retirement account. Also, any assets, investments that may have occurred since you married him. I'm glad your family is helping and you found a good job.